As mentioned, the victorious Redbirds are here, number 1 seed, getting to the championship game tomorrow. Mikhail McIntosh, Tony Wills, and Paris Lee represent the student body for Illinois State. Dan Muller is the head coach. We're going to ask him to start off with a statement on this game, and then we'll go to questions for only the 3 student athletes. Dan, please.
Yeah, obviously we shot the heck out of the ball. I think we made 8 threes in the first half or 9, whatever it was, and we were pretty locked in. I want to credit Barry and Southern Illinois for the way they play the game and the way he coaches. He does a terrific job, and they compete like crazy. But we shot it well. Our bench was terrific again. I really liked our minutes, and it was a good game for us.
Questions for Paris, Tony, or Mikhail? Right here, Jim.
For the players, could you guys kind of tell during pre-games or anything like that you guys were, as Coach said, locked in?
Mikhail, you start, and Tony finish.
I feel like in warm-ups, I think we came with the right mindset, and we were coming in and hitting shots, and everybody was getting loose, and we had our trainer here with us, Ryan, our strength and conditioning trainer, and he was getting us loose. So I think that we did a good job with that and just focusing on the game plan and listening to what Coach had to say before the game.
Good one. I kind of agree with Mikhail. I think the coaching staff did a good job preparing us. So, credit to them.
Left-hand side, gentlemen.
Mikhail, you had a much bigger game than you did yesterday, scoring 14 points, whereas yesterday you scored 5. Where was your head at coming into today's game?
Just to be more aggressive, not to pass up shots or anything like that, but just try to be more aggressive on the offensive end and realize when to take a shot or when not to.
Back here, Jim.
Tony, last week Coach Henson said they basically left you uncovered and kind of almost dared you to shoot. Did you think they were going to do that again today? And especially you came out firing really the first couple shots too.
I wasn't for sure. I just tried to keep taking care of the process. My teammates, they always tell me to just shoot it with confidence. The coaches got unbelievable trust in me, and they tell me to shoot it with confidence. So I just try to take the right shots.
We're on the aisle.
Paris, you were 8 for 12 from the field. You had 5 assists. Is that something that your coaching staff, as well as yourself, wanted to do for this tournament? You kind of straw that stirs the drink for this team. Is that kind of how you want to lead this team the rest of the tournament?
For sure. I'm the type of point guard I would like to see my teammates get going, whether it's finding Deontay on the block, Mikhail on the wing, Tony on the wing, whatever's going. And then, when it's my time to take my shots, then just be ready to knock them down.
Paris, a year ago you had said that you wanted to get Illinois State back and you promised you were going to get back to this game. Now that you're going back, what are your feelings?
We just gonna keep playing the right way, playing Illinois State ball. Just keep chopping wood. We're not gonna do nothing different.
We're on the aisle on the left-hand side.
Paris, there was a substantial amount of ISU fans here today. Can you talk about that a little bit, what that means to you?
Oh, that means a lot to us, man. Just to see our fans out here supporting us and just traveling with us, that gives us a lot of energy, and we feed off of the fans. So shout out to the Illinois State fans.
Right-hand side, Paul.
Mikhail, could you describe how this team has evolved, how it's changed since the very first game of the season back on November 11th?
I think our team changed a lot from the beginning of the season because we went through a lot of different things, different losses, different wins, and just practices that we went through. And I think our team grew from all the losses that we had. And from the practices we had, I think our team just grew together and became more like brothers than anything. And we learned that we can't do it without playing defense, or we can't do it without being there for each other. So I think that's one of the things that I see from our team now, is that we're more together and we look out for each other and we take more pride in our defense.
Mikhail, I don't want to assume anything about the winner of the next game, but you didn't play in that first game or second game against Wichita State. Could you just kind of describe when you were watching that game, what was kind of going through your mind in Wichita?
I just wanted to be out there and help my teammates win. Nothing else. It's just I just wanted to be out there to help them get the win, and it was unfortunate I was unable to be out there. But I was just looking forward to hopefully playing them again, and now we are, so I'm looking forward to it.
We don't know we're playing yet.
If we play them. Sorry.
Right here in front.
Paris, can you talk about Madison Williams? You call him your little brother, and for him to pretty much hold his own on defense today in good playing time, too, with 20 minutes.
Correction, that's my grandson. Madison Williams, man, he's just that spark off the bench, man. Every team needs a player like Madison Williams, who he's relentless. He's not scared of anything. Sometimes he loses confidence when he makes a mistake, but that's what we're here for, to help him out. But Madison Williams, he's definitely a pit bull on defense.
On the left-hand side, we're going to go back to Jim. Go.
Paris, for you, obviously, the talk about are you in, are you not? What does it mean to you guys up there that now you can control your own destiny and take care of it and get the automatic bid tomorrow?
I mean, we listen. We really don't listen to it. We hear about it, but we don't listen to it, whether we in or not. Our next goal is to just make sure we try our hardest to win the next game.
Paris, that was probably the best first half you guys have had in quite a while. How important was that just to maybe set the tone even for tomorrow's game?
Well, I mean, like I always say, it started with the leadership of the team. Coming in, even this morning, I text Tony, Mikal, and Deontay and just told them, like, it's right there for us. We just got to make sure everybody's locked in. And I think we all did a good job of making sure everybody was locked in and focused, whether it was on the bus, pregame, even in the locker room when the coach wasn't even there. So I feel like the voice in the locker room really helped us set the tone in the first half.
Anything else for the student athletes? Yes, Jim, go.
Again, this question is if you play Wichita State. Tony, just walking out of the arena that day in Wichita, what was kind of the feelings about possibly playing them again?
Good question. I don't know. Well, we really wasn't thinking about it. We knew we just got to take one game at a time.
Good job.
Okay, Coach Wills, thank you. Gentlemen, we're going to dismiss you for other obligations. Thank you very much. We're going to stay with Coach Muller for a while longer.
Yeah, good job, guys. Thank you. See you, fellas.
First question for Dan is going to be right here in the front row, I can predict.
Yes, Dan, just kind of on the first half there, did you feel that was your kind of best first half in a while, and did you kind of sense that maybe coming today?
You know, it's hard to sense. I knew we were ready. I knew we were ready yesterday. It's hard to predict with this team when we're going to make shots. I mean, we got a bunch of guys that are really good shooters. We don't have guys that every single night we're just going to hit 4 or 5 threes individually. And so clearly when you make shots, you look better. Thought the second half at Northern Iowa was really good. Played 2 solid halves yesterday of good basketball, but certainly that was a great half for us. But again, any team that makes 9 threes in a half is going to look good. I thought our rim protection was good in the first half. I thought our bench was great again. And I did like the look we had. But we've had that look other nights. We just haven't made those shots. But these guys are, as we say, they say, we're pretty locked in right now. Doesn't mean we're going to play great every day, but first half, the first 27 minutes we did.
On the aisle, Maurice.
Thank you, Jody. Dan, your Makai and Paris played 15 and 17 minutes respectively, yet they both scored in double figures. With that said, you're getting quality minutes from your team, and I wanted you to talk about the conditioning of your team and how important being the #1 seed coming into this weekend was for you guys.
Well, we talked about the time of the games and how much it could help us. I liked our minutes yesterday. We got a lot of rest afterwards. some work on their bodies, got them off their feet, and I think that helped us today. You know, the fact that we look down and it's 24, 24, 25, and as you said, 2 of our starters played less than 20, you would think that'll help us for tomorrow. And as you said, very productive minutes. So we're as healthy as we've been. It allows us to play Madison more. Our bench is really good. And now we get to go into tomorrow's game, I think, and I don't have to worry about minutes. I just play who I think needs to be in the game.
Dan, you guys didn't shoot a free throw the whole game. Have you
Yeah.
ever been in a game where you won that you didn't shoot a free throw? And did that catch your attention at the end of the game? You looked at the stats and said, we didn't shoot a free throw.
I think when I was in 5th grade, we had no free throw attempts. That is amazing. Obviously, we shot a lot of jumpers, but we no, it's a wild stat. I don't remember a game, win or lose, that we have not shot one free throw.
Right here.
Coach, I thought your team came out with really strong defensive intensity just right out of the gate. How much did that defensive effort and focus lead to the strong offensive first half that you had?
I'd like to say a lot, but we've had a lot of great defensive efforts where our offense didn't flow. And so I don't, one doesn't always result in the other. They help. We did get the ball out on the break a couple times on some blocks and some rebounds. You know, our defense, we had them at about 26% with about 10 minutes left in the game, and we were really guarding. I thought that their game yesterday, they had some tired guys. I think that affected them also. But our defense is pretty consistent. I think we're, I don't know, 3rd or 4th in the country in defensive field goal percentage. And you're not going to be there unless every game you're guarding pretty well.
Okay, we have 4 questions up. First one's right back in the left.
Dan, what's the hardest part about playing 3 games in 3 days?
You know, there's the physical fatigue if it's a factor. You know, 2 years ago we played 2 really tough first games, and I thought I saw that fatigue in the second half of the Sunday game. I don't think that should be an issue this time. Once you get past that, if your minutes are okay, it's just staying focused for, what would that be, around 50, how many hours would that be? 48, 60, whatever, 65 hours straight, you know, just to stay focused and be locked in for that long. It's hard to do. It just is. Make sure you don't get too high off wins. Make sure if you have a bad game that you can come back the next day. And so it's always a mental thing as long as your minutes are okay. The leadership we have on this team the entire year and right now is high level. And so I don't worry about that one bit, but it will be important for our guys to stay focused. You think, well, of course they're going to be focused. It's a big game. Yeah, well, they're still 20 years old, and so I think they will, but it's not easy.
Right-hand side.
Coach, how would you kind of evaluate how Dowd has progressed from the beginning of the year to now?
Hey, man, he is doing so well. He led our team in minutes today. He played 25 minutes, and he's so good at rim protection. He only had 3 blocks. It felt like he had 10. And he's just developed with his confidence. You know, he's not going to score a ton, but he's a threat at the rim. He's rebounding the ball better. He's in the first half. He still had ball, as you see, and he kind of has them, and he bobbles them a little bit. He started getting those in the second half. We really missed him. He didn't play the first 9 games of the year. We really missed him. And so he gives us great depth, a little bit different feel on the defensive end, and I'm really proud of his growth. It's been fun to watch.
Paul?
Hey, Dan, how would you describe how the team has evolved and improved since that very first game back in November?
Yeah, they talked about it. We had 3 close losses at the beginning of the year. Dowda wasn't playing yet. Tony wasn't near 100. He was probably 60%. But all 3 games we lost, we had the lead with a minute and a half left. And our defense let us down, whether it was that last minute and a half, the last 5 minutes with bigger leads. And we certainly, the players made a commitment to the defensive end after our 3rd loss at Tulsa. And it's just shown. Our leadership has been good since the summer. Our buy-in's been good since the summer. They've liked each other as much as any team I've been on since the summer. But I think that commitment to the defensive end was made clear when we lost games, period. Ball carrying defense. That's why we lost 3 games early in the last minute of the game.
We have 4 minutes to go. We have 2 questions up. Kirk, go.
Yeah, Dan, the term chopping wood that you use repeatedly, your players use it repeatedly, where does it come from? I mean, I've heard it, I understand, but where did you start using, where did it come from as part of your program?
Well, each year we actually have a different theme, and so this is the chopping wood theme. And I just, with my coaches, try to figure out the best kind of theme to have for each year, specific to the team we have. In the end, everything we have is about taking care of the process. We just have different ways of saying it. And this year we had them all read a book. There's not always a book to read for the themes we have. It's a terrific book, Chop Wood, Carry Water. You should get it. And yeah, I'm not joking. It is not a good book, but a great book. And our guys have bought in. They bought in every year. I mean, really, last year was don't let go of the rope, but it's all about taking care of the process. That's it. It's just a different way to phrase it, a different way to say it, so you're not always saying take care of the process because players stop listening and stuff like that. And it's been our focus the entire year, but really the last 2 weeks, we've really focused on that. We say it every day. We say it in practice. We say it in the locker room. We say it in timeouts. And the players say it.
Some of them are still saying take care of the process, by the way.
Yeah, no, they mix that in because we do say that because I say chop wood 9 times in a row, then I mix it up. So,
did you just specifically kind of tell Mikhail today he needed to be more aggressive than he was yesterday?
Yes and no. I mean, we tell Mikhail to be aggressive every game. I've been telling the entire team to be aggressive. Our offense is better now with Mikhail back, but it's also better now because everybody's ready to make a play. We had a stretch where we were expecting Paris to make every play for a while, and so Mikhail fits in that. He's a really good shooter. He doesn't shoot enough threes. He did tonight. But it also opens up the court when you have other guys make a bunch of shots. So not in particular. He's encouraged to be aggressive every single game.
Anything else for the head coach? Okay, Dan, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow. Thank you.
The student body, we're going to have Barry start off with a statement on this game. Then we'll go to questions for both Sean and Mike. Barry, please.
Yeah, I think I'll reserve my comments for, or actually talk more about Illinois State. I think that if there's anything that we made a decision on today, if you're looking at this game from the national side, is that the Missouri Valley is going to get 2 teams in the NCAA tournament. If there's anything, if you ever had a doubt today, then you can erase that doubt. The Redbirds were absolutely awesome today. They were turned up. That's an NCAA team right there. And I just told Dan after the game, I told him just now in the hallway, I'm proud of him. I'm proud of what they've done. As a guy that's had a 14-year love affair with this conference, that's one of the best teams that I've seen come out of this conference in my 14 years. So I don't think there's any more. I don't even think we need to have the conversation anymore. Hopefully somebody will put that on the air.
Questions for Sean and Mike. Start right here on the left-hand side. Thank you.
Sean, you kind of struggled again today to score the basketball. Yesterday, was your back still bothering you, or was it something else that kind of kept you from scoring the ball?
No, I wasn't feeling any type of pain. It was just I felt like I was getting good looks, just maybe rushing my finishes a little bit. Their length bothered me a little bit. They're a really good defensive team, so no, it was nothing about an injury though. Just didn't make shots.
Mike, can you just kind of reflect on your career at SIU and what the program did for you, and not just as a player, but also as a person?
Since I got here, it's just been just a learning experience and how to be uncomfortable and just trying to get through stuff like that. And they just my team in the last 2 years, they just let me be me. Like coach just damn. I just can't believe I'm just done. Man. I'm happy my 2 years here. And like coming from junior college, it's kind of everything I wanted. I got to play right away. I got to start every game. Of course, I would like to go to the tournament, but I got to meet a group of guys that I could call them my brothers for the rest of my life. So I'm happy.
Jim?
Sean, what did you sense different about Illinois State today compared to obviously when you played them last week?
I mean, they just jumped on us early. I think they're super fired up. They came in, shot the ball really well. I think we tried to get into a bit of their game, running up and down instead of sticking to our game plan, just executing offensively. And I think that hurt us a little bit. But as far as when I touched the ball, I just felt like they were really keyed in. Like every shot, there seemed like there was 2 or 3 shot blockers. So I probably should have done a better job of finding my teammates.
Left-hand side, gentlemen.
I guess Sean again. You guys have had games where teams have shot the ball really well, but you guys have been able to bounce back in the second half. What kind of kept you from doing that a little bit earlier in the second half? Was it something they did in particular, or something that held you back?
I mean, they didn't shoot it as well in the second half, but it seemed like if they weren't making shots, a lot of times they were getting their own offensive rebound and putback. So they hurt us on the boards a lot, I'd say. That was a huge part that kind of kept us from making a run back into the game.
Hey, yes, question right here in the first row.
Could you guys just talk about they're a dangerous offensive team, just how difficult it is to guard them when they got 3-4 guys making threes. I think they made 7 of their first 11.
Mike, you first, then we'll go to Sean.
I mean, that goes for any team. If they're hitting shots like that, then they're liable to be anybody in the country. So, and they got a lot of length. So if they're making those threes, it's really going to be hard to guard them, because when they miss, they're going after the offensive glass every single time. So they're pretty good.
What makes them tough to guard, in my opinion, is they have a lot of players that aren't one-dimensional. They're shooters and drivers, so if you're going to close out on them hard, they're really good at getting the basket, also crashing the boards. So you kind of got to pick your poison with them, and they shot the ball really well. We probably should have done a little bit better job running them off the line and keeping them off the glass, but they're definitely a really hard team to guard.
Yeah, stay here, Karen.
Sean, if you could just talk about the program was a little different when you started, and here you are ending 4 years later. Where do you think the program is right now?
I think it's in a good place. Obviously, I wish I would be able to play in March Madness one time and maybe got to that championship game, but I think it's on an upward trend, and hopefully I can come back to this tournament as a fan next year in a couple of years and see the Salukis in the championship game, and I'm confident that's the direction they're headed in. They have a really good core group of guys coming back, and if they just work hard and someone takes a hold of the team and leads them, they can be really good. We can be really good.
All the way in the back. Go.
You did come back at the end there and even made it pretty close, I thought. Did you feel you had a chance there a couple minutes to go? You're down.
Mike?
I mean, it was, what was like 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago? I mean, I kind of stopped looking at the scoreboard, and I just wanted to just reminisce my last, like, couple minutes of college basketball. So, I mean, I just realized that we lost by 13 at the end, so I think we were just playing just because it was the last time together.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. We're going to dismiss you and stay with Coach Hinson for a while longer. Thank you for your efforts today and during the tournament. First question for Coach Hinson is right there in the front row.
Barry, they're a challenge, but you kind of helped off Wills the second time, and he made a couple threes. Was that the game plan today, or was that just how the way it worked out?
No. That's what our game plan was. We were going to make sure that Wills would beat us again from the perimeter. Even coming off a senior night, we just felt like statistically we played the stats, and we were going to make him make outside shots. I think that's the game today. They made shots from the perimeter. 4 different guys made threes. We still win the battle in the paint. Our defense was 36.8%. I mean, that's just 2 percentage points of what we held them for in their place. The difference in the game was today, 2 things. They made shots from the three-point line, and we couldn't score. And I think you have to give them credit for that because their length really bothered us. We couldn't score at the basket, nor could we score on the perimeter.
I guess I'm kind of optimistic looking toward next season. I guess the past 2 games, you can really say Sean Lloyd has really stepped up. Can you talk about what you expect out of him coming into next season? If it's not too early to ask that.
No, I don't think it's too early, and I appreciate that question. I think Sean Lloyd has established that he can be a guy for our basketball team that can be a defensive stopper, and then now he can also score. Now, today he hit his first 3 shots, if I'm not mistaken, and then that was it. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, he went 3 for 10, and he missed 7 in a row after that. And but I do think Sean's right, Michael's right. We do have a core coming back. We have 2 guys sitting out that nobody really knows about, and Tyler Smith-Peters, which is a really good shooter, and Tyler's medical redshirting this year, and then Marcus Bartley that started for St. Louis as a point guard. And I think Marcus has a great chance to be a really good player at SIU. And then we're going to have we got to go out and sign some guys, but I'm confident that we'll be able to do that.
Nobody would say it's easy, Barry, but why do you think it was just so hard to get all 3 of those guys, Armand and Leo and Mike, all set together just really all season? Just never could get all 5 of them together.
Yeah, Todd, I think you're right. I think you've hit the nail on the head. We kept referring back to that with our team. We have not yet played our best basketball, and boy, I wish I could put a thumb on it. We just never got them all 3 going. You look at what Illinois State did today, and you got 4 of them that clicked, and then they had their guys scoring around inside. But we just never got to a point this year where Leo, Michael, and Armand were always on point, or Sean Lloyd, 3 or 4 of those guys were making baskets, and we just never got there for whatever reason.
Anything else for the head coach of SIU?
Okay, guys, thanks.
Thank you.